Proud of the NBA players. Can't say enough. This is what it's all about. Sacrifice, because that's what they'll be doing.
This is ESPN's highest paid employee, Stephen A. Smith.
There are things that are more important than money. Our people is more important than money. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Really giving an impassioned speech on Twitter.
I've been ready for 3 years. I've been denied for 3 years.
See, he don't want to play. He wants to be a martyr.
Quite a different tune on Colin Kaepernick.
It's about sacrifice. Anytime you protest and every time you take in a stance, it's about a sacrifice. And that's exactly what these players are doing.
But wait a minute.
Irving reportedly made the case that resuming the season would be detrimental to the players' work on social justice and police reform.
Guess what Smith said?
That's no reason not to show up to work. The fact that racial oppression has existed, it's going to exist after this summer. So that is not an excuse not to show up to work, to do your job. Well, I'm sorry, if that's a reason not to go to work, black folks wouldn't have been employed for centuries now. That's utterly ridiculous.
Don't you ever forget this was his stance, because now it's this.
You want to really, really provoke change, you make stuff happen.
So look, Stephen A. is trying his best to revise his own wrong commentary on this issue. As I tweeted yesterday, Kyrie Irving deserves an apology.
Kyrie Irving's always been that guy, the same guy.
Including from this credit card stealing dope.
And I agree with Stephen A. I think it'll be stupid to not play. If they don't play, they're going to be out of sight, out of mind for the rest of the year.
And yes, Charles Barkley.
They're going to lose billions of dollars that the players could use to go into their own communities and do some great stuff.
But you see, that's the problem. This is something money can't buy. Reform is not done by cutting a check. Police unions are not taken down because NBA players hand over cash. This is systemic change. The players are the biggest voices with the loudest megaphones, and they are being heard.
That's what it's going to take for real change to take place.
While Stephen A. tries to sound philosophical, never forget.
Excuse me, it's about action.
Action, you say? Interesting.
I'll continue to sit. I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed. There's a lot of things that need to change. One specifically is police brutality. There's people being murdered unjustly and not being held accountable. Cops are getting paid leave for killing people. That's not right.
Let's revisit your thoughts on someone who actually took action.
See, he don't want to play. He wants to be a martyr.
And what else?
I was saying your proclamation that you desperately wanted back in the National Football League from your camp, that you wanted the opportunity to be employed by the NFL again to play football. I said your action Saturday got in the way of it. You can debate the waiver all you want to. For all I don't know whether it's true or not, I haven't.
Parsing between a waiver he somehow got his hands on, even though it was widely reported that said waiver would screw Colin Kaepernick further.
This document said that you cannot take any action about anything, any and all actions that occur. And what they're really talking about is what happens after Colin works out. Suppose he sits down with the NFL, with a team, any given team, and that team asks you, if we sign you, do you plan on kneeling? And if you say, and if Colin Kaepernick said, yes, I plan on kneeling, and then suddenly he doesn't get signed, then he has waived his right to take any action as a collusion lawsuit, because right then and there, that question is collusion.
But that wasn't enough for Stephen A. Smith.
But to sit up there and imply that at this particular moment in time that sports should not exist and we shouldn't be going back to work because of racial inequality, prejudice, police brutality, et cetera, these are things that have been going on for decades. So if that's the case, then there was no reason for anybody, whether it's your forefathers, your ancestors, or anybody in between, to ever show up to work. The reality is that you have a job to do.
Do not, and I say this very clearly, do not ever forget, Stephen A. has a lot of Roger Goodell in him. Whichever way the wind blows that day, his commentary leads him down that path. Whenever he tries to revise his own history, just serve this clip as a reminder. Lastly, if you can, donate to Hurricane Laura relief funds. They need our help, and they need it bad. Stay safe, everyone.